Hello, everyone. Vicki Achard here with Nature's Best Art. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, I started this painting here and painting the background. I want to show you what I've done, where I'm at with that one, the Peony painting. It's right here. I'm going to put you a little bit closer. All right. So that's what I've gotten so far. Now, what I did in the background, I did a little something different. I brought in some leaves where it was just all green. And I put these I think are from my camera, these flashes of lights. And I wanted to bring them out more. And I think, though, in the next painting, I will actually subdue all of this more like in my photograph actually. But I'm going to call this painting Beautiful Peony in Focus. Now, what you're looking at here is just one wash and a few petals that I did some glazes. So this is not done at all, complete at all. I have to go back probably 2 or 3 more glazes. And it's really light and it's going to be stand out some more. So I'm excited about that. But I left this part, I'm right at this point. So I'd like to start right here. So here we go. Let's start with our pinks. The pinks that I'm using is a Permanent Rose in my Winsor & Newton Cotman, student grade. And then sometimes it's a little darker, so I add a little mauve. And then sometimes it's even more darker, the petal's even more darker, so Permanent Rose and more mauve. It's always has Permanent Rose in it. And then the darkest parts, I'm actually putting mostly mauve in them and then a little bit Permanent Rose. So that's how I'm doing that. And so I did all my greens in my M. Grant Professional Paints, and I'm doing my pinks of the petals. I'm just seeing if this is running. Yep. Okay. We're having a video today. That's good. In my student grade Winsor Newton Cotman. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to paint the colors that I see. If it's light, I'm going to paint, just in the Permanent Rose. Now this one right here is a little darker right here. So I'm going to go to my next color, and that's Permanent Rose and a little mauve. Yeah, so let's, I think it goes around here actually. All right. This has been very satisfying to paint. I've enjoyed this. And it's like I mentioned last video, it's like a puzzle. And then when all the pieces are put together, all that's painted, it'll look together. It'll look real pretty, I think. Excited about it. Just spreading this around. Now this part that I'm not going to paint, basically, let's see what color, is a lot of white in this. So I've tried to save my white parts. And I normally don't do this, but if I think that it needs more white in some places, I'm going to go back at the very end and probably put a little white paint in it, because I think for this painting it's important to really have your whites. Now see, that's the first, that's my wash. And then after a while, if I want to make that darker and put more glazes on it, I will. There's a little part in this part of the petal, and this part that's this one I can do. I don't want to do this one that's next to it, but in this one here, I'm going to put just a little pink, just a little bit. I have a little spot there that's pink. I feel like it's a puzzle. It's a piece of a puzzle. Okay, so that's gonna just get left that way. I see that I want to put a little bit more. I'm going to drop a little bit more paint right there. Okay, good. All right, and this I'm just right now, I'm just going to leave that all white for now. I'm going to probably put a little bit of pink there, but not right now. Okay, now I'm going to go away from this petal. I'm going to drop down all the way down to here because I don't want to do right next to there or right next to here. So I'm going to, this is all one petal here. And I see what I see on this one here is they didn't go, let's see, it's not a really deep one, but it is that second color that has mauve in it a bit. So I'm just going to do the whole thing. And right here, it has a little bit of white spot there. So let's see, I'm just going to be able to do this whole petal here. Now sometimes I have been putting water in my petals before I paint them. You can do either way. There's not a lot of white on the bottom part of this petal, like a lot of them are. There's just a little white spot there. I'm going to try to save that. Okay. And then this is a little darker down here. I'm going to paint this a little bit more here. And then I'm going to bring in some little dark right there. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah, this is kind of dark here too. I'm going to see if I can just bring a little darkness to this area here. Right at the moment, just a little bit. There we go. To get that first wash in. Okay, there's something there. I can pick that up later. I can pick it up now. It's just a little hair or something that was on my brush or something. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's go now to the, I think we're good to do this petal here, or maybe let's see if I can do, yeah, because this is, well, this is up here. Let's do this petal here. That's gonna stay away from everything. Now, what this is, this has a very, like this one and this one, they have dark shadows on them. So it, you know, you tend to want to just do the whole thing one color. Um, and that's fine right now, and that's what I'm going to do. But then I'm going to go back and put that shadow on it. And it's actually, this is a whole petal right here. See, in this one, underneath, no, this is part of that puzzle. That, okay, the shadow is here. I see my line. And this is a whole petal right here. Let's do that. All right, first of all, it's quite light. So this is such a big petal. I am going to put some water in here first because then the paint will move. I'm gonna dry that a bit there because I see that my petals here. Okay. Let's see now. Let's get the, it goes a little white here, so I don't want to get that. I'm going to use my Kleenex and get that. I think I kept the water away from the white. I can see I'm tipping it. Just so right here, I want to keep it kind of white. Okay. Just going to try to dry this part a little bit more. So that color doesn't bleed into that. All right, now let's see. Like I said, the light color is what's on there underneath the very dark shadow. So I'm going to put this very light color. I'm going to keep all my curves. So this paint's flowing nicely. Has a little bit of white there. See the difference in the colors? There's a very slight difference, but makes a difference. Okay. This goes up here like this. And no white on the end here. Just on the end right there. Okay. All right. Now, where are we at here? Let's dry this. This is my second Peony picture from when we went to Ann Arbor. And I was going to do a third. I was going to do this. I'll show you the one I was going to do next. It would have been this one here. And I am going to do it. But there is an event coming up. And I'm going to focus on this event that I'm making a few things and getting prepared for that. And I'll show you that after we finish this, what I'm doing. So I may not get to that this year. I've done this my second, like I say, because I got to do my Christmas card yet. People always want that, it's coming up. And that's going to take a little while. And a few other things that are going on that I have to accomplish. So I may not get to that third painting because I want to spend my time doing this week and also get ready for this event. And I'll show you after we do this what I'm doing for that. But okay, so let's get back to the painting. I'm focusing on this petal right now. This is quite dark, but not really dark, except for there are shadows in it. So I'm going to go to my medium color. And let's see. Yeah, it comes around here, around this little petal here. There was all these little petals that I had to do things with. It was very interesting. Okay, and then it comes this way here. And then let's see. Goes down here. It does pick up this line here, just like that. Kind of goes like that. There we go. I even drew it in there is what I did, which helps a lot. But then you got your lines, and that's okay. So see what I'm doing is I'm painting the petal, and then my next glaze might be painting the painting the shadow, except I see some of these petals. I'm doing this carefully. I want to get this right. Let's see. Okay, so this goes this way, and I got a little something here. Okay, comes down here. This stays white a bit here. And then it stays white over here. So I want to keep that white right there. Okay, there we go. Then blending this, moving my brush back and forth. Radiated wash there. Or yellow wash. Okay, that's my first. Now here there's not as much white. It's a little lighter though. So I'm just going to leave it. Okay, and then down here. Yeah, I can do that later. Okay, after it dries. All right, let's dry this now. But I really love the way I did keep some of the white petals on top, you know, white like it should be. However, I'm going to make these darker because, like I say, these need maybe 1 or 2 more glazes on them. And then the white's going to show up even more, which is good. But then if I find that I want more of a highlight, I'm going to paint all these little places there a little white. Which is fine. Some artists don't like to use white paint on their painting at all. I think that's wrong. And I actually don't do that too much, but once in a while I do. All right, now I could go anywhere I want at this point. Okay, I'm going to make this a little darker here. Put another glaze on here. Just up and down is all it needs. At the moment. Now, I'm gonna wait to paint. There's a little bit of color on there. I'm gonna wait to paint that. This one, I'm going to. I could just put. No, I'm gonna do this again with this color. So this is gonna probably get a third glaze here. Okay. So let's do this again. I'm going to try to stay away from that top part right there. I don't want that running together. This is not my shadow yet, it's just my other glaze. Okay. Now let's go down to this petal. This also needs another glaze. Okay. Keep that little part white there. I'm using a number 20 round. I do like round brushes. I like to work with round brushes. They do show a little bit of white here, just a very little bit of white, and another actually white spot there. I'm going to leave that like that. I'm going to put it like a spot there. I think I'll make this. And what I'll do is at the end, I will let me concentrate on this here. I'm going to come around this, do this, start again here. I'm going to be touching up these, see these edges right here, like, so some of the edges will need some more green, some will need some more pink. You know, on the whole flower, see. Right now, what I'm seeing is this part here. I think I'm gonna actually, well, I think that'll be okay. It's a little spotty right here to my liking, but I think I can actually fix that with when I put my shadow on this petal here. And I could leave this little white here. I think it looks kind of nice actually, although it's not on the, it's actually white down here, but I like it right here. And then I'll put a little green right here. So that'll work out. All right, now I can do this petal too. Now do I want to put a glaze on this before I put the shadow? I actually think I do. So we're using quite a bit of this color here. I still have a little bit more right over here. Right here, this is Pyro Red and some of that mauve. So I think it'll be enough. So I'm going to do this petal here. This is the glaze and not the shadow. It's a very big petal, isn't it? I'm just going to go back and forth. And make sure I don't pick up that white in the corners. Okay. Right now I'm just going to take a look at my reference photo to see right here, this petal here. Let's see if I should go up here a little bit. That touched that one. I think I should go all the way back here. Okay. This is this petal here. This white is part of this petal, which I'll contend with later. Okay. So the last petal I need to do is this petal here. Let me look at this again. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of this color just with the mauve and a little Pyro Red. It has a little Pyro Red in it, just a little bit before I put this. Is this wet? No. Yes, it is. I'm gonna dry this. All right. I think that should be dry by now. Yeah. Just put in a little bit of this. Maybe I have too much. Maybe I just want a little bit. before I put the shade, you know, there's like the whole thing is this, but this part is a little, this is going to get it, this part a little darker, of which it is. Yep, there's, okay, some paint there. That's going to get it a little darker. And then when I put that next glaze on, that's, this part will be darker, and that's what I should see. Okay. If you get a little bit paint off when you're painting, just drop it in and then kind of spread it around there. I don't want to get any blooms either. So, okay. All right, now let me dry that again. Now, you see how this turned out streaky? And that's just how the petal looks, streaky. So I like that. Okay, now remember we said that this part needs to be a little pink. So that's what we're going to do. I don't want to do it all pink, just a little pink, a little bit. Okay. I want to take quite a bit of water. Let me see if that's just a little pink. Okay. And a lot is like right here on the bottom part of this. Part of the, I'm going to see how I got a little bit, a lot of pink here, probably when I was painting. I'm going to go like this. So that spreads that out a little bit. Okay. May even have to go in with a smaller brush to get some of that off. If I got a number, what do I do with my number 2? I'm going to go with this acrylic brush actually. And then I'm going to blot it with a Kleenex. Okay, good. Off. Something went in there. Oh, okay, that's fine. There's a little mark right here. I think it's my pencil mark. Let's see, did I put that there for any reason? It might be a little shadow. I think I'll put a little shadow there is why I did that. Yeah. Okay. All right, very good. Now, let's see what's going on with this one here. Needs a little pink here. Okay, pink, pink, pink. Where's my pink? Right here. All right. Right here. Just a little pink. Spread that a little bit. Okay. Right there. And that's a little pink also, but not a lot. Okay. All right, now let's try this. Make sure it's dry. Oh, I'm not too high. Sorry. Okay. Now let's start with this one again. And I don't know, it's basically, it doesn't have much of a shadow, but it is darker here. Oh, I need to get some more of my mauve. And then my Pyro Red. I had a little mauve in my M-Gram paint well, so I'm using that. And then this palette over here, I don't know if you can see that one way over here, is the Pyro Red from my Cotman. My Winsor Newton Cotman. Okay. Now where were we? Yeah, this is a little darker. Right underneath it. See, this is creating a little bit of a shadow, but not as much, not as dark. So I am going to do that. Just creating that shadow there. Right under there, and then it kind of fades out. So that is a little darker there. I'm going to fade this out a little bit, blend it. Okay. So it's darker there. Okay, it's just right there. All right, now let's go on to this petal here. That's my next shadow. Now we can go in with our darkest and make this a shadow here. So we're going to be putting more mauve than anything because that's the darkest. And it comes down here. That's where I have my pencil lines. And I'm going to go back and forth like I did before. That kind of creates a little bit of the lines that are in the petal, actually. And basically it's all of this area here. Okay. You'll see it's getting darker. That's what we want. We want that shadow. All right. Okay. Now, this petal here is not going to be touching this, so I can do this petal. All right, it's time to do the shadow on this one also. Now this shadow just goes down here, like that. Okay. I'm going to start right here. I'm going to go all the way up with my brush. See, this white is part of this petal here, and I got a little there, but I can take that off. No problem. Okay, so I'm going to go up and down. I'm going to create that. When it dries, you'll see the lines a little bit. Now, I got to remember to stop right here with this shadow. This looks different here. My pencil lines helps me with that. And sometimes you can take, if it's too dark a pencil line, you can take it off with your kneaded eraser. I was going to do that, but I didn't. I thought, oh, I'm going to leave it and see how I like it because I want to get it quite dark. Okay. All right. And when I'm creating those lines, like a lot of flowers have. Now, this I'm going to put some lines down here, but it's going to be with another color. So it's going to be, let's go to our medium color and do that. Let's create some lines. Okay. And then when this dries, I'm going to go over this probably again. We're not going to do that on camera because I'm going to have to do I believe, one more glaze on these, but I can do this one on camera. I'll do that. So this one is really pretty dark too. So let's go over it with all of this here. That darkest color up and down, creating some lines. I'm going to leave that little bit of white here. All right, like that. One is quite white here on this petal. And remember, this is part of the petal too. I'm going to leave this little white down here and fix that up later. And then this is the dark part here too. Okay. That has a little bit of something there. I'm going to make that darker right there where my pencil line is. I'm going to spread this out just a little bit here. All right. And then I'll have to put another glaze here to make this darker. So we're moving along. It's coming along. And like I say, a lot of this part of this here will be darker too. So you're not going to see a lot of those pencil marks. So I'm really excited about this. Now this was my third glaze. You can tell the ones that I've had a third glaze on there. So I might make a few of these leaves a little darker. And around here just a little bit darker. But so there you have it. I'm having fun with it. And I will post a picture of this on my Facebook page when it's done. So make sure you're following me there too so you can see my finished paintings. I was going to put my paintings on the post in on my YouTube channel. However, I put one of them on and I didn't get any response. So I don't know. I think maybe I'm going to wait till I get a few more subscribers on my YouTube channel to do that. So please subscribe to my channel so I can post them on there too. I know some of you just go probably on YouTube. So I want to show you something. Here's what I'm making for my grandchildren, actually. These are salt dough. They're going to be like little toys for them. I created them the other day, and they're drying. They're hard. I baked them. Actually, they're dry, and I baked them. But I thought they turned out so nice, and I'm going to paint them. They don't look like anything much now, but I'm going to paint them. I'm going to put acrylic paint on all of them, and then I'm going to put Mod Podge front and back. This is like salt dough stuff, and so this is like a little, ice cream cone and a donut. These are little ducks, baby and mommy ducks. This is a sun. This is going to be a sun with sunglasses. He's going to have black sunglasses on. This is a little pony. I have a granddaughter who loves horses. And this is a starfish. They look a little brown, because I baked them a little bit. I don't know, maybe I had a little bit in there too long, but it's going to be okay because I think I'm going to paint it white first. And then this is going to have a tan look to it. I'm looking at this, and this is actually you can see the crystals of the salt. They're really very, very pretty. This is an octopus. And this is a teddy bear that has sort of a sad looking ear. I'm going to fix that up and put some clothes on a teddy bear. I think it'll look cute. This is going to be a butterfly. And then this one is going to be a real pretty fish. It doesn't look like much now, but so I'm really excited about this. I have to get all of this painted and put Mod Podge on them by this weekend. And it's today is Tuesday. The video is going to go up tomorrow. So I will be busy painting this. I want to get this completed, and I want to put a picture for you of the completed picture by this week. And I'm also wanting to do, you know, that all that painting there. So, and then after that, it's this and that and this and that. And we'll talk more about that at another time. But I'm so happy you joined me today. I hope you're inspired by my painting. I hope you'll pick up a brush and try something and enjoy being creative. I just love it, and I hope you do too. Okay, until next time, we'll see you next time, and happy creating. Bye bye for now.